So hello and welcome people back to Let's Play Galerians Ash. In the last part we ran into a problem because Lilia apparently can no longer open the doors for us. Now, it probably has to do with, if I recall correctly, she could only do it once for us. Or when we were in the simulation, I remember that. She can do it for us, and the problem is they were doing retinal scans, and we just happen to be someone that's not exactly on Dorothy's good side. Now, who do you think that is very similar to Rion, and like has just happened to be on Dorothy's good side, and like maybe is on the right side of the screen right now?
I couldn't tell you.
Like, where's duct tape?
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Takeshi from Scan Ranger.
I don't think he was wearing any duct tape.
Oh yeah, he was. He was.
Maybe I have not caught up on Scan Rangers quite yet, but in any case, what I'm doing right now is trying to find Kine. Thankfully, they don't actually rely on you knowing, you know, well...
So do we now literally have Kane's eyes?
We have his information, and we have this incredibly 2002 PlayStation 2 effect going on in our eyes. Like, literally, if you see that effect, you know the game was made from, like, either in 2003 or before. Nothing ever uses that particular type of glare and blur afterwards.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that? I guess by that point it kind of looked archaic, what with a lot of PC games from... No, it's not voice acted, so it's fine. A lot of PC games from like the late 90s era also used a similar effect.
Right.
But yeah, now we no longer have that effect going on. But yeah, as I was saying, because of the intro, you're not actually required to have played the original game in order to know, like, who Kine was, or you would get the idea from his, you know, from his document and whatnot. They're pretty nice about that.
Yet again, I have to ask, like I asked when we watched Galerians 1 together, who built this? Because did they ever say Dorothy built it? I don't think they did. Because, like, whoever built this tower, like, they were like, I need to make this as evil looking as possible.
That was, like, that was actually probably Dorothy, or she was designing it or something and having Galerians build it, or some of her other creations put it together. Because remember, that was one of the problems. She had the power of self-assembly, which was then removed from all of the other computers made afterwards.
Right.
She was able to create, and this is why she made this. You know, a gigantic towers firing lightning everywhere.
She's got problems, man.
Oh, and by the way, I was stupid for not taking advantage of the save right there. This is even more disturbing than they probably wanted it to be.
Yeah.
This is the last Galerian development program. It looks tough. Just give me a little time.
Please hurry. Even now, Ashes.
I know, but... Wait, hang on. If I connect to the reserve computer in the System Development Center, I can distribute the processing. And that should really help to speed up the analysis.
What can I do?
Go to the System Development Center on floor 1 and boot up the reserve computer.
Computer Elaine reporting. Warning. Galerian identified at number 3 gate. Warning. Galerian identified at number 3 gate. Computer Elaine reporting.
Oh no!
Warning. Galerian
They know what we're up to.
identified at number 3 gate.
They'll try to destroy the reserve computer.
Galerian identified at number 3 gate.
Man, be careful.
By the way, even if that scene sounds quiet to you, it's way more quiet without me messing around with it.
Got it. Nico, save, you fool.
There is no save there.
Save
That-
anyway.
Well, there are occasions to do that. Oh, I misremembered where they start you from here. I don't know. Never mind. I do remember running into a rather annoying section now. Now, remember the whole thing about floor 1 being cut off, and about that camera angle heavy pilot talking about hangar number 1.
Yeah.
Well, this game is very not very nice about sequence breaking. It does not allow any, so we just have to discover things very, very slowly until we can actually do stuff.
Aw.
And if it did allow for sequence breaking, we would just go to that one pilot and ask him to give us something that he forgot to give back. Instead, we have to go all the way down to find out the doors are locked before we can ask people. Even though Rion could most definitely see the camera angle change that happens whenever he talks to that guy, obviously.
Well,
They mostly all say the same thing as they did before.
you know, all the walking around that this game forces you to do is really reminding me of the Inuyasha RPG.
Although, in Inuyasha RPG there were a lot more places to go, all things considered. Here it's like...
Yeah.
Yeah. We have... And we've got a break run.
Break a Ron?
Break run.
Poor Ron,
yeah.
what'd he ever do? What the fuck?
He just wants to sleep.
Right.
A huge amount of data is displayed on the screen. Actually, like while they didn't change most of the dialogues since the last time, they did remember to specifically, you know, point out that Elaine is in fact processing this data. If you do bother to actually examine the computer. And here I cut out a little bit of wandering around. Well, just a few steps.
Searching for PPCs.
No, actually not. Here I was kind of wondering. Do I need to talk to the? No, I already talked to the guy. I just need to go down, waste some time, find out that the floor is inaccessible. Need to go through the armory because there are stairs there.
Ignore all the enemies.
It really isn't worth it because everything respawns a few times. It actually is a viable strategy to fight enemies if you're on easy mode, because then it like you get enough stuff to go about and you don't receive quite as much damage. Due as it does not take psychic powers to go through those doors, Rion.
You could literally, like, just walk in it. Like, what the fuck?
Vomit frogs,
What?
vomit frogs, vomit frogs.
But yeah, like, you did not need to open the shutters for that.
No. Here I'm gonna take care of them, because they're in a very tight spot and they're kind of annoying. But then I'm like, ah, damn it, they respawn. They don't respawn quite as much as other enemies.
Still bullshit that they do, though.
Yeah, I don't think this game really needed respawning enemies. Especially since they don't stay dead after you leave a room. They really just don't want you to fight anything. Oh yeah, at this point I was like, yeah, you're gonna and you have a friend now. It's glorious. Need to examine this thing.
There's no way to go forward except this button.
Thankfully, they did make sure that, here. The computer's device log is showing Bagle pilot was the last using it. And the problem with the computer, now these things are actually, like, legit worth taking out. Simply because they're really difficult to get past. They're specifically designed to be blockers. So it
Which
is
is why
actually...
we burn them to death.
It is actually a viable strategy to kill them, because while we can get past rabbits and we can also run past the vomit frogs, these guys, they have the tail swipe, and it's pretty wide. You need a slot to plan the pilot, whatever thing. The pilot has it. That's what the log information was for. And we can't find anything else. We also can't access those doors. I don't think so. Yeah, they don't have the manual they don't have the manual handle, so we can't open them.
They don't have the manual, so we can't do anything about it.
No. You don't have the manual ring, so you'll just have to run straight to the enemy every time you press the attack button.
Thank you. But so now what? We have literally nowhere to go.
So basically, we have to go all the way up to where the pilot is. Except not
fun.
this way. This way is a bad idea.
I still to this day wonder who designed Kane. Well, Dorothy did, but I mean, like, she has terrible fashion sense making Kane wear that.
I mean, honestly, it's just kind of how people dress up, apparently, in this world.
Right. It's the fashion of the 30th century. You just get used to it, I guess.
I mean, Rion in the first game wasn't wearing anything much better, and, well, I guess
Well, he had the
found
excuse of breaking out of a hospital.
and just finding some clothes. But,
Yeah.
I mean, Rion right now has his clothes picked up by Lilia.
Which explains a lot.
I mean, considering what she wears already.
Yeah.
And there is...
They couldn't have just given us that earlier.
No. And this is not the key to the computer, this is just the key for the hangar, which has the key to the computer. It's like...
It's the key to get the key to the computer.
It's like... Just please, Galerians Ash, I just... Like, I want to be able to recommend these kinds of games to people, but this is such a runaround, just a busy work.
I mean, at least it's not Ultima 7 levels of fucking stretching a quest out.
Yeah, admittedly. But, like, even when you do... It's just one of those annoying cases of... I do know how this goes, but I still can't do anything about making it go faster. Like,
Right.
Okay,
Hey, anyone with a brain would realize, oh, that's an important thing, you know? Like, unless they've literally never played a video game before.
Like, at the very least, I can understand this quest, because, we wouldn't know that there is a computer key missing. So we go down there, and we find out that the last person to use it was a hangar pilot. It was a pilot from a Bagle, and it turns out that he left the key. Okay, there is a reason why he just wouldn't give us the key to the hangar, because he's the pilot. Obviously. Now, this is excusable. However, what isn't excusable is the previous runaround quest where there were obvious items to pick up that the game just would not let you pick up.
Yeah.
Until you knew they were relevant. Like, why would you just leave a key? Just a key lying on a box?
Keys aren't important. Obviously.
So we need to go to the warehouse 1, because this one will connect to the hangar number 1. Not to be confused with all of the other hangars, because they all kind of look alike. Now there is another information about the pilot, which I think I missed, or rather I skipped the dialogue a little bit too fast and I didn't remember. Is a pilot of the Bagle number 67 or something like that, I believe. It's important because, well, if you don't figure out that information, you'll just be really confused about what happens. It's a bit of a shame it doesn't say which stairs go where.
Can't tell ya.
But the very helpful guide can, so I'm gonna have to waste time.
Right. One with the sassy lady in it.
Yeah, and here I'm kind of also demonstrating that the map in fact is useful because it can tell you which rooms connect to what. And this was in fact the right place to go. Hangar number 2, number 3. However, hangar number 1 is basically the only one that isn't listed.
Fun. So now we're back in the fucking sewers.
And there are more vomit frogs.
Smells like poo gas down here.
I mean, just hey, say Hugbees and you're gonna feel better about it. Now, supposedly, there is a number on this arrow bagel that is supposed to say. There's supposed to be a number on it. I couldn't find it. In any case, it's not the bagel that we want, and it takes me a little while to figure out that it isn't the one.
Yeah, we want the cream cheese bagel.
I mean, blueberry just doesn't cut it right.
Right.
Yes, screw you.
Jesus.
We can still enter.
That thing was out for you.
Yeah, this is bagel number 39. This isn't the one that we want. And there is literally nothing here. That's why I cut it out. Just me sort of checking everything for a little while. Now what we have to do is find the device that moves around the bagels, because they have several. And here I'm trying to, like, you know, get a good vantage point and look around the area, but this guy has another idea. I guess the number is not stated on the bagel itself, like on its surface. It's just on the inside, like when you enter it. It's a bit of a shame, because you know that could also save me wasting some time.
Nah. That said, I still have to wonder how these monsters keep getting in like these really like locked up and closed spaces.
That's a good question. I mean, we've seen them just sort of materialize.
I guess they can teleport.
Possibly. I mean, they are of the same origin as psychic kids created by a crazy supercomputer with a god syndrome. So I guess them being able to teleport or materialize. Also, they cause, you know, the radioactive activity whenever they're nearby. So I guess that may be one of the factors for them to appear. So yeah, this is 67. That's the one we want. It's always going to be the next one after you click the control panel. And the main reason why I was missing the control panel all the time was, well, game has a lot of blur.
Huh. Let's see. Who looks like you, has similar enough DNA/retinas to pass, and was still probably on Dorothy's good boy list before you offed him? That's right. It's your old buddy Kane.